I'm experiencing a lot of emotions right now.
I'm Sarah, this is Abby, and welcome to A Swool Unlimited. I'm a scuba instructor, and I lived in my van for a little over 3 years after living abroad as a dive shop owner. Now I'm living in an old sailboat with the hopes of sailing and diving around the Pacific Northwest and beyond. On this channel, you'll get scuba lessons, dive site explorations, and sailing adventures. Join the community here on YouTube or come diving with me around the world on one of my expeditions.
Welcome to my mess, otherwise known as packing for the Socorro dive expedition, and Abby is supervising. Yes, oh yes. Before we get into the video, I just wanted to show you the kinds of things that I put in my carry-on, which is always my Dan dry bag, because this converts into the perfect boat bag once I get to my destination. So thank you, Dan, for sponsoring this video. Gotta tell you, by packing all this stuff together in one bag, I am the easiest target when going through TSA. So wish me luck. It's always a journey trying to pack for these trips, but you guys probably know that. And let's get into the video. I spent the winter learning about diesel engines. As the weather warmed up, I decided to get hands-on experience by doing the basic maintenance on my Universal Atomic 5432. I got stuck in several spots while swapping out old oil, zincs, and the impeller, so fuel filters were my final hurdle. Before changing the primary filter, it seemed like a good idea to look at the sediment inside my Raycor filter and clean out the bowl. That way, I have a fresh start and can track how much sediment buildup occurs during my travels. Even though there's part of me that doesn't want to know, I need to get an idea of the level of algae growth I have inside my diesel tank. Just going for a walk, you know, normal things. I couldn't get the screws out of this, so I came to some professionals, and now they're helping me clean the whole unit. It is several days later. Of course it is. And I learned something important. I have a Raycor primary filter, which is the first filter that the fuel sees, and then it goes through that and then goes through a secondary filter, and then it goes into the engine. The primary filter is to get out all the gross crud. Mine is old, obviously, because I have an old boat. It has a stopper in the filter, and the filters that you get now won't fit because of that stopper. And I was kind of I wasn't sure if the stopper was important to something or whatever. I talked to the guys that sold me this, and they said I could just take it out and put in the new style of filter. So hopefully it works. I put the new filter in and filled it up with diesel, attached the lines again and put it all back in place. Now I need to bleed the lines, which I'm going to do by turning the key, which will engage my fuel pump. And I need to crack something to let the air out. Bleeding the lines turned out to be the biggest endeavor of it all. I got a ton of air into the lines while swapping the fuel filters, so this turned into a multi-day adventure of getting someone over to help me turn the key while I tried to release the air from the fuel injectors. Then I celebrated by diving with a couple of women from my LGBTQIA+ Baja dive expedition. This was their very first cold water dive after getting certified in Mexico.
What made you so upset just now?
Pictures, paparazzi.
Finding the perfect rental mask. Ding, 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 ding. That looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that looks great. Shake it. Brookie, how you doing in there?
This is so fun, I can't stand it. You guys, I'm having the best time of my life. Life is good. If I die right now, die happy.
Now,
Awesome, thanks.
all right, have fun.
Thank you.
My only rule for them was to be honest about how cold they felt. As I stated in a previous video about hypothermia, regardless of how tempting it is to tough it out and push beyond your comfort zone, it's not safe. I'm pleased to say that they followed the rule and we had a short but fun dive where they got to practice buoyancy with a whole lot more variables like thick wetsuits, boots, gloves, and steel tanks. The following day, the tables were turned. I prepared myself to be in a vulnerable spot with them.
Oh my goodness. Little babies. Oh, I know. I'll leave you alone. I'm sorry.
The forecast hinted at a gorgeous spring afternoon, so I ran through my trip checklist and took them to the lake. This was my first time taking the boat out as the most experienced person on board.
Did you hear us?
I was sick to my stomach with anxiety. My logical brain understands there's no need for such self-imposed pressure. However, my fight or flight response was triggered in a whole lot of facets of my life this winter, and my nervous system is overworked. I've built a layer of distrust in myself and the boat, but I know it's a false narrative. I'm a decent boater, inexperienced, yes, but I'm doing all right for how long I've been at this. Learning how the different systems work and how to fix things has been essential for letting some of that fear go. I knew there was no other way of calming down except to just drive the boat. And it turned into an absolutely stunning day.
The brothels!
Okay, oh my God, now that's spontaneous.
I'm experiencing a lot of emotions right now. I'm so proud of myself. I've been struggling so much to do basic maintenance and troubleshooting issues, but I kept at it and I kept asking for help. I got out of the slip without any problems. Like I had Christiane at the bow with the boat hook just in case, but like I didn't need her there. We motored around and came back, and again I got into the slip without any problem, and I even docked her by myself. Because it was a bit like I got into the slip, but I was a little bit far for Brookie to jump. So I took the line and I jumped. And I just docked her by myself. And I was like, once I got her tied onto the dock, I was like, oh my gosh, I just did this. I sat down this morning to write. I always write in my journal. I do morning pages from The Artist's Way. And I wrote like 4 pages of stuff. And I just got so washed, like just overwhelmed with pride of the work that I've put into this and into myself, developing my skills as a sailor. You know, I still hesitate to call myself a sailor because, like, you know, I still have so much to learn. It's a good feeling to work really hard at something and to see the growth that's come of it. Oh my gosh. It's gonna be a good day.
The real key for me in this season of life is about discerning who I want around me as I learn. I need to sail with people with whom I feel safe. Trust is key, and that trust has to flow in all directions from skipper to crew to boat and back.
There's nothing fancy about this boat. The tiniest amount of wind. Hey, you know what? We're out and the sails are up. I'm pleased. And then there's Abby. Abby, you want to come outside? 1.2 knots, 3 knots, 1.3 knots. Woohoo!
So, the season is beginning. Thank you so much for watching. If you want more from the Azul Unlimited community, join us over on Patreon or sign up for one of my diving expeditions. Okay, love you, bye!
My little shark baby. So sleepy.
What a good girl.
You guys are the worst at B-roll. Just do what you're doing. I just. Oh my god, you're too much.
Oh, that was
You got that one?
Yeah,
A little bit of
that
a
was-
yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Good or what? Stop smiling.
I can't help it.
Stop.
Look, I know an unhappy patient. That's how I like to leave them when they're.
Focus.
This is your volcano point. All your stress will be relieved out the top of your head.